Hola! I went ahead and did pulled the cards that I needed to pull for you. And like the previous practice reading that I did, I went ahead and pulled a card that represents you, the querent, the client. And then I pulled 3 cards to represent the past, present, and future because this is a general read. And I basically just asked spirits to convey to me a message that they feel you need to hear. And all 3 cards came out reversed, and I do read reversals. So that being said, let's jump right into it. As you see from the screenshot that hopefully I put in the video before I even started talking, the first card that I pulled, the card that represents you, is Helios. And this is the Greek god of the sun. I believe the Roman god's name is Sol, which is Latin or Spanish for sun. And if you can see, his mighty steed has a sun on him, and he's got the sun tattoo right there on his arm as well. And this card, to me, represents somebody who is very strong, who is very passionate, and who is the kind of person that kind of takes charge, moves forward, is not trying to let any obstacles stand in their way. The card that represents your past is Temperance. And this card, like I said, the first 3 cards that I'm going to show you actually came out reversed. So when this card is up forward, you know, I see an angelic being. I see somebody. Temperance is kind of somebody who's calm, cool, and collected, which is pretty much the opposite of this. So it makes sense that it would come upside down. But to me, you see this angel, and he is, you know, kind of, it looks like he's juggling these different spheres here, which look like maybe they're the sun, the earth, and the moon. I'm not 100% sure that that's the case, but that's what it looks like to me. And then at the bottom, you see him with his feet rather. 1 foot is in the water and 1 foot he has on land. So this card, the first word that comes to mind for me is balance. Especially with the fact that he's juggling all these things. This card represents to me somebody who has a lot going on. And with the fact that it's reversed, it's showing me, it reads to me as if this is somebody who's got a lot going on and who kind of needs to get a better handle on their schedule, you know, get their priorities in order, figure out what's the most important thing, and go down the list of things that you have to do and take care of, and kind of get your priorities in order, get a schedule, get a little bit more organized, because, you know, the fact that it's balanced upside down is telling me that things are out of balance right now, or at least in the past they were, because this card does represent the past. This card also came upside down, and this is the Knight of Swords. This is actually going along almost perfectly with this card right here. They look almost like the exact same card, don't they? You have this young, virile, strong male character on a horse, charging forward, weapon in hand, ready to kick ass, right? So this card, because it's a sword, it does represent your mentality, the way you think, your you know, your thought process, you know what I mean? And so the fact that it's upside down to me represents that perhaps you don't have your thoughts in order, which again goes along with this card right here in the past, which means, you know, you need to kind of get things organized. You need to get your priorities straight. You need to get your head in the game. And that's not to say that you aren't already thinking, but that perhaps your thoughts aren't 100% aligned with your goals. Because I don't know exactly what your goals are in life, what your career goals are, anything like that. But for example, because you do have the name Mike, the word Mike or Mick, I'm not sure how it's meant to be pronounced, but to me, like, the music industry pops into my head. So perhaps what this is saying is that, you know, you need to stop and think about things a little bit more clearly when it comes to how it is that you want to pursue a career in the music industry so that you can be successful. This card, the future card, because the one previously was your present, this card also came in upside down. And if you look at it, this is a dude who's got a scale. So he's, you know, balancing things, and he's got this adoring crowd with their hands out like, yeah, show me the money. And he's like, he's got, where is it? He's got a coin in his hand somewhere. There it is. And he's giving, you know, coins out. And these are all people that are, you know, looking up to him, literally, because you can see that he's above them. So they're looking up to him. He's dealing with this crowd. He's handing out money to what could potentially be people who need it, you know, the poor, kind of like Robin Hood did, you know, giving out, you know, things that these people need. So with regard to the music industry, like I was talking about earlier, you know, you want your crowd to be, you want your audience to be engaged in your music, and you want them to really, to just really appreciate and connect with it, because that is how you build your fan base. That's how you can move forward when it comes to success. However, this card is upside down. Pentacles, this is the Six of Pentacles, by the way. The fact that it's coming upside down to me means that perhaps maybe you need to take a better look at your finances. Perhaps you're spending money on equipment, for example, if you know, this does have anything to do with the music industry. And if it doesn't, just consider it as an example and, you know, attribute it to your life how you see fit. But if this were to be somebody with regard, somebody who's looking to become successful in the music industry, then this is showing me, again, that maybe your finances are not in order. Perhaps you're spending money on equipment that you don't necessarily need, because you're trying to get your sound as best quality as possible, yada, yada, yada. This is basically just telling me, all these cards are basically just telling me that for whatever reason, your approach is not where it needs to be. Not to say that it's a horrible approach or anything like that, but that you need to kind of take a step back and reassess how you're going about things, because it's not going to get you where you want to go. And again, this is usually about the time where I stop. However, I did want to pull a clarifier card because, you know, the cards all being reversed was kind of giving this overall negative vibe. And I know that that's not the intention of whatever spirit guide is reaching out and communicating with mine, saying this is what he needs to hear, this is what he needs to know. So I pulled the clarifier card, and this is the card that I got. I got the Page of Swords. This card references somebody who is young, and with the swords you have the mind, the thought process, and everything. So this is representing somebody who is perhaps just starting out in their career, who has just gotten their footing and is starting to move forward. So this is telling me that should you heed the advice that I'm giving you, should you listen to your spirits that are communicating via these cards with me, that you'll be okay, that you're going to be able to start moving forward. And, you know, once you're going to get your head in the game how it needs to be. Your thoughts are going to eventually become aligned, be aligned with your goal, with the end goal that you have. So again, the Page is a youthful character. So to me, this is indicative of somebody who is just starting out, who is just, you know, who is just starting to put themselves out there and is starting to gain headway in the career, or with regard to their goal that they have set, that they have in mind. But yeah, if there's anything else that you would like for me to clarify or anything like that, just, you know, hit me up via email. I will be sending this to you via my Google Drive, so you'll be able to watch the entire video. And should you give me the permission to post this to my YouTube channel, I will edit it and do that as well. Because I am trying to, you know, get more people to be interested in getting a reading from me. Free readings, but a reading nevertheless, because, you know, practice makes perfect. If I don't get enough practice, I'm never going to move forward myself, right? So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. I hope that the fact that these cards came down, a lot of them came down reversed, wasn't, you know, like, didn't come across as me like busting your balls or anything like that. You know what I mean? I just, It seems like your spirit guides are just trying to keep it real with you. You know what I mean? They're not just gonna, you know, happy, happy, joy, joy, fluffy, good stuff. You know, they are looking out for your best interest. And it looks like right now, because you're stuck, because you're at this crossroads, you're at this fork in the road, they're trying to help you, steer you in the right direction. So yeah, I hope all is well with you, and many blessings. Bye.